Yeah, okay. It should be here, hopefully. Watch the live stream. Changes there. If it never changes there, then I fucked up. Change in 5, 4, 1. I fucked up. Nope. I didn't. Oh, but I did. It's black. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. So I lied about Oblivion. That's mostly because I was playing Bayonetta. And I didn't realize that it was almost time for me to stream. So, yeah. That's just how that goes. I'll probably hop into Oblivion after this level because this game requires my full concentration and it's not good for live streams. Really not. I'm also definitely gonna die, that's for sure. I'm bad at this game, but I really want to practice and get good at it. I love this game, but I'm so goddamn bad at it. I didn't mean to use the torture attack on him again. I wanted the other one. Well, we live with what happens. We live with our consequences. What? I don't know. Ah, shit. How did I get hit by that? Oh god, I died! Well, yeah, but Oblivion's not exactly turn-based either. But it's a little bit slower paced in this game. Yeah. I have been kind of wanting to play some, like some, what's the word I'm looking for? I wanted to play some, civilizations, there's the word! Jesus Christ, if we can concentrate on the words and not mashing the fucking buttons, that would be great. Here we go, let's cheat. Specifically, I actually want to play Bayonetta for these two enemies right here. Because I watched a video that was about how well designed of an enemy these are. And I always do have trouble with them. Of course, the video kind of just talked about what a great design they are and not exactly how you're supposed to overcome them competently. And your boy isn't very competent at this game. So a guide would also be helpful, not just talk about game theory, you know? And by game theory, I don't mean it's a theory, it's just a game, not that. I'm talking about, you know, actual like level and enemy design and what makes good that. Ah, that's cool. You do whatever you want, buddy. I think usually I'm just background noise for a lot of people. I know, I think, Staff, who is, coincidentally, like, the staff of my Discord, I think he normally just plays League while I'm on in the background. He almost never says anything. He just says, hey, I'm here, and then that's it. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. As I was saying, I was watching a video about those two enemies that I just killed, and I totally like fucking cheesed those kills too because I just torture attacks to finish them off instead of actually, you know, testing my skill against them. But yeah, it's whatever. We do what we have to. It also made me kind of want to play Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is a pretty good game. I only have Devil May Cry 4 because the awful. I also have DMC, but we don't count that one. There's a lot more to DMC that I would like to also practice in the vein of more character action games, just getting good at them. Because fighting games of all types, whether it's whether it's actual like fighting games, you know, 1v1 or whatever, or character action games like this, there's a certain appeal of the challenge that I really wish I could be good at. Like just watching skilled players, well, you know, be skilled at the game is just so cool to watch, and I want to be that. I want to be that nerd. But, you know, I can't. Because, I don't know. Anyways, so I'd also like to play some more DMC. Well, DMC, but I played a lot of that actually. What I'm trying to say is I'd actually like to play a lot of DMC 4. And, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me just get hit by all of the glowy things. And while I'm in the middle of talking, did I kill him? Oh, there they are. While I'm in the middle of just talking complete nonsense right now, you know what I would really like? I never felt, I mean, I know this is never gonna happen. I'm aware of this, but playing as much Bayonetta as I have recently, and by as much as I have, I mean, I actually haven't been playing it that much. I just started playing it just before stream. Made me really wish that, that they would release Bayonetta 2 on the happen. We know that because it's owned by Nintendo. Absolutely. Now, mind you, oh shit, right, I know. I'm playing this on a higher difficulty. It technically is normal mode, but I have some accessories equipped here that make it more difficult. So even though it's on the normal difficulty mode, it's actually much more difficult. These beads right here, they get rid of witch time, which basically means, since you're not familiar with the game, witch time is if you dodge an attack at the right moment, time will slow down and give you a moment of opportunity to attack back against enemies. And then this accessory right here puts them in a taunt state, permanently in a taunt state. Taunt states in this game give you more combo points, however, the enemies attack more aggressively. So, how do you taunt? I don't remember. So you can do that. You can do that in a battle, and then the enemies will attack faster and more aggressively. But the equipment that I have obviously puts them in that state permanently. So like when that bomb that I drop happens, that would normally be witch time, but because I have that equipment on me that gets rid of witch time, instead I have that bomb that drops. There's also an easy mode, which I think is a little bit patronizing, especially I mean, if you just want to experience the story, that's cool. Then the easy mode is totally fine for just experience the story. But I also feel like it doesn't really give much experience for new players in a way of how to control the game. It's basically an automatic mode where all you have to do is push buttons and it will do the combos for you. So as long as you're pushing attack buttons, it'll automatically pick the combo instead of having control over it. So I totally distracted by talking that I didn't do the right thing. Here we go. Let's try this again. Woo! Almost jumped off the edge there. Yeah, it's only $20 too, I think, at full price, even when it's not on discount. So like, it's a fucking steal, man. Just as I was, oh, okay, all right, cool, no problem. Yeah, that's. There are some relics to this game's design philosophy that are a little bit fuck you, like as you just saw there. There's another problem. A lot of times in a cutscene, an enemy will perform an attack, and they decide to carry that attack over right into the gameplay right after cutscene ends. So unless you're sitting there mashing the dodge button, you're gonna get hit by the attack, which is fucking dumb. Yes, that's the fucking shit that happened last time. I think I was going too fast for the game. But yeah, if you like DMC, any of the Devil May Cry games, then yeah, this game is pretty great. As I was saying a few minutes ago, Bayonetta 2 and I guess potentially 3 will probably never come to the PC because Nintendo owns those rights. Oh, God. Though Nintendo has done some strange things recently, so you know, you never know. They might surprise you one day and just be like, "Hey, guess what? You can have Bayonetta 2 on the PC." That'd be a little bit strange, but I don't know. Like I said, they've been doing some pretty strange things recently, anyways. It's really kind of just me being hopeful. That's all. I did own Bayonetta 2 on my Wii U, but my Wii U didn't come with me to. It didn't come with me to China and then to Japan. It stayed back in America. If you have a Switch, the Bayonetta 1 and 2 release just came out this month for the Switch. I think later next year I'll have Bayonetta 3 on the Switch as well, so I guess I better fucking get a Switch, goddammit. It's kind of weird though. I never like playing my consoles as much. I don't know if I don't know what the reason is. It's just like even if it's a game I really like, I can't ever feel, I don't know. I guess I'm more invested on the PC side of things, that even if it's a game I like, I still I have the console for it and I can play it, but I don't know. Ah. Ah. Oh man, you could probably pick up a Wii U for dirt cheap, oh, to be honest. So, you know, if you really like the game, then you could always pick up a Wii U dirt cheap and play Bayonetta 2 on a Wii U. I mean, to be honest, I only have my PS4 and I only have my PS4 and my PC, so I don't have a lot of consoles. I mean, like I said, I used to have a Wii U, but it didn't make it with me to China and later. And oh my god! Fuck! I don't know what's happening. If it looks like I'm playing skillfully, it's not. I've never felt like I've been mashing buttons harder in my life. Hooray!
What's the matter?
And I am almost dead. How many times have I died on this? I think I've died twice on this level.
That was bloody amazing.
Oh. Fantastic.
Oh, what a day.
Nah, it was great. It's not much better than my last score. And I did it in like half the time. Oh yeah. Really didn't take it very seriously. Fuck. Huh. I normally don't do this bad at this, because I have mouse aiming for this. Because I'm nervous. I'm performing for an audience. Oh my god. There's 2 people watching. How can I ever live up to their expectations?
Round over.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a controller type game. I don't know, I've never tried keyboard. It does have keyboard support. So I never tried it before. So I can't say how good or bad it is. If you don't have a controller and you do look into getting it, then maybe it's something worth considering to see how well it works with a controller. I will tell you, if you go in researching that, you also have to keep in mind there's going to be a lot of people who are going to pretty much say the only way to play this game is with a controller. But I think the keyboard support is good enough. It's not going to be the best experience, but it'll be an experience. Alright. Now on to... Okay. So I should go ahead and preface this with odds are in favor of this game crashing. So just expect that to happen occasionally. Lately it hasn't been so bad. Usually I can get about an hour to 2 hours of gameplay before it crashes. And considering I've already been streaming for... It doesn't say. I'm looking at the wrong... I need to look at... Start loading it. Considering I've already been streaming for half an hour now. We might not experience any crashes before I end. Maybe. That depends on what kind of mood the game is in. It also might get a little bit angry because I'm now streaming in the background while playing it, which adds a whole nother layer to this whole rig that I have established. It's a disaster created. Well, it shows up on stream. I do have black bars on it. I don't know if you're familiar with Oblivion. I hope so. It's a great game. But it's an old game, and so it is. My version of Oblivion that I have right here is freakishly heavily modded. Like, this is not how the vanilla game looks whatsoever. You might be able to tell because there's some artifacts happening over there from the modding. Don't worry, that's just the LOD. As soon as I get closer, it will be fixed. Anyways, so because it's so heavily modded, it performs kind of fucking poorly. Without any of the mods or all that, it will run absolutely just fine on my computer, but with all the mods, the engine definitely not designed to handle this many mods. So, yeah. It kind of performs like poo. Oh yeah, although I think Skyrim has surpassed the number of mods available. Last year, you can actually find it in my stream archive, I actually set up this installation right here. Some guy on the Nexus forums called Bevelex painstakingly went through basically the entire mod list of Oblivion and created the necessary mods to make Oblivion look like a game that was released in 2017. So yeah, it was just graphics enhancing mods as well as a few quality of life mods as well to ensure that the game performed better. So it's those mods on top of my own choice of mods, armor, weapons, a few gameplay enhancements, that now has this becoming a horrendous mess of mods that stability is impressive. An hour-long stability is pretty impressive for it. The game engine was definitely not designed to handle this many mods. Anyways, I got a little bit off topic here. The point of me saying this was that that's what the black bars are for, is me just trying to squeeze out as much performance as I possibly can. So I applied some black bars on it to maybe give me another frame or two. Because yeah, it's performance sometimes is pretty bad. It's also kind of all over the place too. There's some areas, like right now, I don't have a frame counter because any overlays on this game fuck with the engine and everything like gets washed out, as if someone turned the brightness way too high up, and no matter how much I adjust the in-game brightness, it will never fix it. So I don't have any overlays to tell me what my frame rate is, but it feels at least around 50 to 60 right now. That's not to say that it can easily tank down to 30 as an average. I mean, occasionally it has spikes. That's fine. That's just from the game loading cells. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, I put this installation together. It took me, like, I don't know, 4 working hours of just installing mods. Probably longer than that, actually. Over the span of like 2 days. Like I spent 2 hours one day installing mods, and then 2 hours the next day installing mods. I felt so accomplished just to finish the damn installation. That by the time I finally got around to playing the game, I was kind of sick of it already. I mean, I played it some. But I didn't do a lot. I think I played maybe 15 hours or so, which is not much in the scheme of a Elder Scrolls game. And then I just kind of stopped. And then recently, I don't know, I was a little bit bored. I still have some games that I bought from the winter sale, but after finishing Blue Reflections, and then later Senua's Sacrifice, I don't know. I went into Okami HD, which I bought during the Steam sale, although I don't think it was on. But I don't know. I was just kind of bored with it, so... But I really wanted to play a game, so I was like, you know what? I still have that Oblivion installation that I did that took me forever to put together. So I decided I would just hop into that Oblivion installation that I had. I'm glad I left it still installed because I've had fun. I've been playing it for the past, I don't know, week or so. Longer than that, I think. Maybe 2 weeks.
How are you?
Been better. How about you?
Not bad.
Good news. What do you want? Talk to Malone.
I did talk to her.
She's...
Witches! How dare they prey on our men? When Gogan was, with the women, he was carrying a precious family heirloom with him when he was lured out to their lair. The ring belonged to my mother and has been in the family for generations. I'm willing to give you all the money I have to get it back. Can you help us? Thank you. I hope the reward will suit the risk. It's all...
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I don't know, when I mod Skyrim or Oblivion, I have a lot of fun just, like, I don't know, thinking about, like, ooh, how will this mod change my gameplay? Or, yeah, that sounds like something interesting that I'd love. Like, I have a lot of fun just, like, it's like window shopping, you know? Looking at stuff that you never really have the money for, but, just imagining what it might be like. Fun. Hello, Mr. Chu. Yeah, about Neptunia and Senran Kagura, probably not. I don't really like Neptunia anymore. My experience with Senran Kagura came in the form of Valkyrie Drive game, and I don't know, it seemed a little too shallow, too surface level. Anyways.
I have.
Yeah, it still hasn't had a quest marker. Do I still need to talk to her? That's strange.
What do you
What
want?
about you?
Talk to her.
What can I help with? All I can tell you is that the best place to start is at the Flowing Bowl. Gogan may be able to give you more information beyond that. The Flowing...
What do you want? I see my wife couldn't keep a big mouth shut. Yes, it's true.
Yeah,
I lost the family ring.
although Chu, you're kind of right. The mods definitely make this game way more adult than it is. Don't you worry, I got nudity mods installed. So if I strip my character, or for that matter, any other character, might see some vaginas or dicks.
Inside, they asked me to remove my clothes and items.
However, I don't have any of the sex mods installed.
They brandished weapons and robbed me.
But I am familiar with them.
Sent me away with barely a
Back in my teenage days, Oblivion was better than the porn available.
I want to save what's left of my marriage. I'm merely a man. How could I resist? What a mess I've gotten myself into.
Wrong way. Especially Oblivion. Oblivion, I don't know what it is. Like, I was actually browsing for some armor mods just the other day because I got bored with my armor. And I don't know what it is, but I mean, I know there's still sexy and skimpy armor mods for Skyrim too, but holy shit, they just like fucking overran the Oblivion modding scene. Like, finding a reasonable pair of armor is somewhat difficult. Finding the exact kind of armor that I was looking for, it was definitely impossible. Like, I'm not looking for totally 100% realistic practical armor, but at the same time, I don't want just like fucking nipple cups and a G-string for my armor. Like, I want something sexy, but not
Faustina. She's got a proposition for
but not, you know,
Never seen
ridiculous.
you here before. You look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I've put together a gang. Our targets, weak-willed men who are easily fooled into believing they will have their way with us. I'll leave the decision up to you. Oh, and one more thing. If you breathe a word of this to the city guard, you won't live long enough to get whatever reward they're offering. Just to be perfectly clear, we're not prostitutes. We do everything on our own terms, and the men never, ever lay one hand on us.
Hello.
I mean, modding community loves loot armors. You are correct. They exist in Skyrim. But
What's the news?
the amount of lewd armors in Skyrim compared to the amount of lewd armors in Oblivion is, like, there's no comparison. Oblivion just wins that category if you want lewd armors. I wound up, as ridiculous as it is, yes, my armor may sound like clinking, clacking boots, and that's because they are. I went ahead and just found some clothing that I liked. As unrealistic as it is, I don't really fucking care, and I just opened the armor up in the construction set and changed the properties to heavy armor. So yes, my armor technically in the game considered heavy armor, even though it's just clothing. So I mean, I used to try to make mods in a long time ago, and I tried doing it in Skyrim too, but Skyrim's construction set is much more complicated. I never was able to wrap my head around it. I never even actually for that actually I never even really bothered trying to wrap my head around it. I opened it up and was like, I don't know what's fucking going on here, and I just closed it. And fuck it, I'll just leave it to the community, the mod. So I'm sure if I actually tried to understand it, I probably could. It doesn't seem too different than the Oblivion construction set. But I just never really bothered. But anyways, I don't have any like quest mods or anything installed. I do have, if you're familiar with the Oblivion modding scene, besides the loot armors, there was also a very popular series of mods called the Unique Landscapes mods. Those are actually included in the huge list of graphic enhancing mods that I basically together that I installed. But anyways, those were... Oh, did the game crash? It sure did. Hey, that was much faster than I expected. Okay, have fun with that. Where's my mouse cursor? There. I have to find it. Now, sad news is typically after the first crash, it starts crashing quite frequently until I restart the computer. If I restart the computer, I have to stop the stream. I'm not gonna do that. We'll just cross our fingers and hope it's not so bad. If it is really bad, then maybe I'll just go back to Bayonetta, or I'll play something else. I don't know. There's a song that I was working on in one of my streams a while back, a couple of streams back, that I'm still working on now. Maybe we'll go do that. I don't know. Let's see what we can do.
You smell of death. Morning. What have you been up to?
You can just go this way. Cut through Anvil. Okay. Slight little chug. I also have necklace of water walking, so my character is Jesus. But the quest is in that house there. Anyways, as I was saying before the game crashed, I do have unique landscapes installed, and I think that's really the only mod that I have installed that adds like new content. At least I'm not completely sure. I found a couple of new areas that were clearly modded in. I'm not sure what mod added it. I'm gonna assume either it was unique landscapes or it was my overhaul, my Scars Oblivion overhaul. There you are. But besides that, all the quests and stuff that I've been doing have just been old school vanilla Oblivion quests. They're kind of dumb. They're kind of cheesy, and I love them actually. I was kind of thinking about this. Although I don't, it's been a while since I've played Skyrim. I don't recall any of the. I don't recall actually being what's the word I'm looking for? Too interested in the quests that were given. I often just kind of did my own exploration. In Oblivion, I feel a little bit more compelled. In Oblivion, I feel a little bit more compelled to do the quests than Skyrim. Skyrim is kind of the other way around. I felt more compelled to just do my own exploration. I didn't. Oh, no, what the fuck? He's not doing anything. He's just hugging me. Do you not know how to attack? Oh, there we go. That was it. The thing is because I had stepped away. Gave him enough space to do his backwards power attack. I think that's the only attack that he knows. So I didn't wait long enough. The answer is not to step away from your horny stalkers because they'll just ram themselves right into you. They'll just insert their sword. I'm using sword as a metaphor for this. Best solution is to, yeah, as you said, just kill them. Don't run away. Move away. You're giving them an excuse to pick themselves inside you. I'm supposed to meet someone here at 11. Oh, go inside. Oh, okay.
I see you decided to take us up on our offer. Good. We could use another gal in the gang. Here's how it works. We case the flowing bowl for a likely subject. Namely, we look for a married guy who drinks a lot. Then we'll send you in there where you charm the man and get him to come out to some location we pick to rob him. When he gets there, we make him take off all his clothes, which is very easy, by the way. While they're helpless, that's when we spring the trap. So far, we haven't had to draw one drop of blood. The best part of the whole thing is that the men are so embarrassed they won't tell the guards. So, the bottom line is, you show a little skin, just a tease. No one touches you. What do you say?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's never happened before. I suppose.
I know how to show some skin.
I mean,
You don't know this, but right now I'm streaming in just my underwear.
But why say no when it's so
Does
much
that get
easier
you
and more lucrative
get
to
you
say
revved
yes?
up?
Or are you
Thinking
here
about
for
my
something
hairy,
else?
sweaty legs.
Damn, I knew it. You're working for the city guard, aren't you? I didn't think they would be stupid enough to send someone alone. But so be it. I should have known after I fenced that stupid ring and discovered it was a fake. Worthless. All part of the guard's plan, I suppose. Okay, girls. We got someone who doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, I can still see you. You're not fooling anyone. This is just a regular ass fucking side quest.
We had a feeling you'd be surprised when you saw us in our real uniforms. I see you have a puzzled look on your face. Ask away. Gogan and I are really members of the Anvil City Watch. We've been trying to foil Faustina's gang for months now. Every time we tried to interview a man who was lured there, they refused to talk. The women in the gang picked married men to seduce for just that reason. It was decided the only way to stop this gang was to send in a stranger. You fit the bill perfectly. We'll clean up the mess. Don't concern yourself about it. If you ever find yourself back in Anvil, stop by any time and say hello. Oh, and please say nothing to anyone about... You've done well. Don't spend all the money from the...
Wit Splinter. People dumb.
Hello.
What's the news from the other?
Sounds like the Empire.
Let's save the game just in case. You never know.
Has given up on stopping the
Go ahead and tell me your question. I can answer it, maybe. What if I can find these people? I don't know. I don't know if you can give this stuff back to them. I don't think I've ever tried. Yes. Although, I think the stuff that I more watch is far more right-leaning than that. Usually, if I watch that kind of stuff, it usually criticizes feminism, racism, migrant crises, etc. Cause I'm one of them gun-toting Southerners. I believe strongly in my Second Amendment rights. You heard? I think you heard is a Southern expression.
Got a lot to do here. We can talk later in Anvil.
I don't remember if it was on a live stream or... Actually, no, I think it was in the Discord. No, I don't voice my opinion much in public because, people are clearly insane, so... honestly, even though I watch stuff that is far more right-leaning, I believe one would say I am incredibly fucking moderate. I am about as moderate as milk. I'm not quite orange juice, and I'm not quite bleach. I'm milk. I was curious about my own political leaning, so I had to take a fairly long quiz actually, that'll tell you where exactly you fall in the political spectrum, and I fell nearly right smack dab in the middle of it. There was just like less than 1 degree leaning to the left. So, you know, yeah. Actually don't know what to do in this game right now. Earlier this morning, my decision was to find. Actually, no, that was last night. And I realized none of the base game armor I really like, so I went out looking for mod, and then didn't find any good mods. So then I decided I was gonna make my own. Although it was late last night when I decided that, so I didn't do that until this morning. And then this morning I made this armor, and then I didn't set a goal for myself thereafter. Now I don't know really what to do.
Hi.
Back on the notes of politics, I do say that I watch more right-leaning stuff. Although, to be fair, I'm not talking about stuff like InfoWars, Alex Jones.
So wonderful to see you again. I don't know what I've done without your help.
How goes it?
I think mostly just because Alex Jones and the rest of the cast of InfoWars is, I feel some of them seem intentionally inflammatory, like they are just trying to bait people into discussing. They are being the definition of a troll. Alex Jones, I feel like is kind of doing the same thing, except not being inflammatory, but instead just being, unless you consider being incredibly stupid inflammatory, in which case he is succeeding at that, and that's honestly what I could feel like he's doing is he's probably really stupid, but he's also probably aware that he's really stupid, so he's using his stupidity to his advantage. Look at how stupid I am. Does it make you angry that there's someone in the world who has a lot of people who listen to him and is really stupid? Does that make you angry? Because as we all know from Logan Paul, it doesn't matter how bad of the controversy is. It's matter. It's gonna get you the views anyways.
Greetings to you.
Where are we gonna go? I just finished joining the Mages Guild. I don't know why I say finish. I could start core part of the Mages Guild. I don't remember all the cities first and get a recommendation from the guild before you can. I don't know. I mean, it's probably real. I mean, suicide is pretty fucking common in Japan. Suicide is about as common as a fucking school shooting in America. Oh, edgy joke! Me. Actually, I've had this discussion with the fucking people here, and as bleak as it fucking is, you know, look, I think these horrific acts of death, whether it's by suicide or if it's by, I'll tell you what, let's just walk in a direction, talking mostly anyway. This conversation is more important than the game. So, between suicide or mass shootings, both of them, I believe, come from this. They stem from the same place, but it's a cultural difference that defines how it will be expressed. So, in America, people, or at least for that matter, Western culture in general, people feel they want to express this problem that they have through violence towards others. While in Japan, people who have the same problem feel like it needs to be expressed towards violence against themselves. I think it comes from nearly the same place. I mean, suicide can cover a wide range. I'm not saying like all suicides in Japan are because of some mental illness. That's not what I'm saying. I know there are some suicides that come from, you know, legitimate depressed people who are having struggles in their own life that may come from things that a mass shooter might not be feeling. But I do feel like the number of suicides that are in Japan is very similar to the number of mass shootings that happen in America, and it comes from a similar place. That's not true. I'm sorry. I don't have any numbers for this. I don't have any numbers. I don't know. I would probably feel more confident saying that there's probably more suicides in Japan than there are mass shootings in America. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. That's kind of why I don't talk politics. Okay, I thought that person was gonna come and attack me. I don't know. I think there's I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's hard to prove anything, but I know it's been talked about amongst my coworkers. There's a certain station not far from me that's also pretty well known for people going there to well, jump in front of a train. So yeah, I mean, suicide is common here. So I mean, as unfortunate as it is, I do believe that the body that Logan Paul found was real. You also have to think about it this way too. There is quite a huge backlash against him. You would have thought at some point he probably would have said, "Guys, look, it was fake." Well, he never did that. He also seems like the kind of person who would probably say that, even if it wasn't fake. But he didn't at all. So I think it was genuinely real. He's just a horrible person. An Oblivion Gate. Yep, that sure is an Oblivion Gate. Oh, what the f— oh my god, that's— god damn it. Oh my god. That scared me way more than it should have. Why did that scare me so much? I didn't mean to scare you. I got scared. Fuck! This one again. I wish they'd designed more Oblivion planes. I kind of like them, actually, especially now that I've modded it. I kind of hate it how they used to be really, really red. I mean, it still is. But the sky used to basically be, like, fucking pure red, and that was it. Now, I've modded it now, and it's just looks hellish, but it's not pure red. I don't know. It's a little bit more pleasing to look at back in the vanilla state. So I've actually kind of been enjoying doing the Oblivion Gates again. However, I think there's only like 5 planes, and I feel like I've done all of them. I wish there was more. I've seen many repeats. So, I mean, if we're talking about basically people who are having troubles dealing with mental issues, like, I honestly do think it comes from a social problem for many of the people. I'm not going to speak for all of them, because I don't know. I'm not the people. I'm not the person who has killed himself. I'm not the person who has killed other people. I'm, you know, fucking average Joe, ugly ass Mr. Nolan here. That's really it. There's nothing too special about me. So I don't really know, but I feel like a lot of these people who have, you know, who commit suicide or have committed mass shootings come from a place of having trouble dealing with social acceptance. I mean, it's something that, like, we all kind of have to face. I've dealt with it myself too. I mean, others are more charismatic than others, but, like, so it might be easier for them to, I don't know, make friends, fit in, and lead a more normal life, but those who are more introverted have more difficulty finding their place, and without the proper way of handling it, it just kind of comes out violently. I'm bad at speaking. I shouldn't talk about this kind of stuff. Going to assume it's also why you haven't. Okay. I mean, if you have something to say, like, feel free to say it. Like, if I'm not gonna chastise you if you say I'm fucking wrong. I mean, we're having a discussion. So, I'm not saying I'm right. I don't know. So, if you think I'm wrong, feel free to debate here. Well, this is kind of shit. I have these fucking traps over here. Not the, I mean, I guess they're kind of phallic, but they don't look very feminine, so they're not, never mind. This is a dumb joke. Obviously, whether I want to or not, mass shooting, gun violence, and all that has become a major discussion with me lately because of the unfortunate fact that that's my home country that it's coming from. And, well, of course, my mom still lives there. Well, everyone lives there except for me. All the people that I relate to still live there except me. I got out of there. I left. I said, fuck this shit. Fuck, god damn it! If you're wondering what the yellow thing is my shield, when it's dropped, it doesn't have a mesh. I can't release the camera. Wait, what if I do... because my shield, when I drop it, it doesn't have a mesh. Like, the way this game works is you have a equip mesh and then a ground mesh. So basically, like, when the weapon is equipped, it looks like this, but then if you drop it, it looks like something else. But my shield, when I was putting this armor together, that included the shield too, I didn't bother giving it a ground mesh, so when I drop it, the game is trying to find a ground mesh, but it doesn't have one, so it just says, oh, hey, something went wrong. But I guess one of the mods that I have decided to be funny and change the normal thing that it displays for an object that doesn't have a mesh. Normally it's just a big exclamation mark. But I guess one of the mods I have changed it to a sign that says, what the fuck, I'm a missing mesh, or something like that. Fuck yourself. You're your big ass fucking hammer. Holy shit, that's actually Daedric. Ah, but it weighs so fucking much, but oh, it's so valuable. How much weight do I have on me? I can do it. I can drop it later. It's whatever default voice came with this race. There's a race mod called Dolls. A lot of the races by default in this game, and a lot of the custom races still use the same head mesh as the default races, so even though they might have unique skills or even unique things like wings or tails or whatever, they still have the same potato faces. there are very few races that come with a unique head mesh, and one of them is the Moon Shadow Elves, and the other one is the Dolls, and I decided to go with Dolls. However, you can't find Dolls on the Nexus anymore. The person removed them. You have to go Google Desu-chan's Dolls. Anyways, it's just whatever default voices came with the... There's no mod for it other than just the... Oh, fuck me. I like fighting on the stairs. Down here. Get out of here! Stupid thing. And he seems to be stuck on the stairs now. And that's why I don't fight on the stairs. Oh god, let's health potion. Shithead? Stop running. God, there's 3 of you? What the fuck? You know, that's one thing that I do miss. I wish... A lot of mods from Oblivion got ported to Skyrim. Mostly armor, because it's pretty easy to transfer. But I wish there was a lot of mods from Skyrim that got back ported to Oblivion. One of the ones that I really liked was... I don't remember the name of it, but it gave your character a voice. Your character would add commentary on things. Miss that. And it just used the default voices in the game, so it's not like some fucking... I don't know. Some modders. At least I remember from my Oblivion days when fucking any person who just had like any generic USB microphone and no acting talent whatsoever would make mods for Oblivion, and it was so anytime that a mod in Skyrim would add custom voices, I'm always worried that it's those days again. But anyways, the mod that added a voice to your character in Skyrim just used the default vanilla voices. What? Why is it not fucking extending? Did I not pull the goddamn lever? What? I thought I did this already. Or I did. Not use it at this time. Okay, so I have already done it. What the fuck? Punished up here. potion. What's happened here? None of the bridges are extended. Not to be a fucking... Mind you, I try to play this game legitimately, but the bridge is supposed to extend. I don't understand what happened. Maybe the game changed its mind about this plane and decided that I needed to go all the way down and climb this tower back up. I don't know. Maybe it's nostalgia. You know, I used to play this game a fucking lot. Like, before I even got on the PC, I had it for the 360. And then, eventually, before I even had Steam, I bought it on disc for the PC, and I used to play it a lot then. Like, I remember seeing one of my save files have over 1,000 hours of playtime on it. And that was just one save file. So, I honestly feel like I have way more nostalgia for this game than I could ever have for Skyrim, even going forward in the future. So, I would say this game, but the vanilla Oblivion is not great. The first and probably the most important mod to me that I install is the Oblivion XP mod, which honestly, I wish there's a mod like this in Skyrim. I might like Skyrim more too if there's a mod like it, but as far as I know, there's not. Basically, it just makes experience, it just adds generic experience instead of experience given to each skill. So that orange bar just above my health, that's my experience bar. You know how experiences work, just like in any other RPG. That bar fills up, I gain a level, I can distribute my stat points however I want. With that mod installed, it completely changes the way I play Oblivion and makes it such a better game to me. There's also, I don't know, lately I've been feeling a lot of love for Oblivion. But again, it's also kind of not a fair judgment because I play it heavily modded. I think Skyrim is an okay game, even at its vanilla base, while I think Oblivion needs mods to make it great. But I think once Oblivion has been modded, I think it's a much better experience than Skyrim. Do you play Skyrim or Oblivion? I mean, you probably do. Everyone fucking owns at least one of the 200 versions of Skyrim that exist. There's someone from down there shooting away. Come from? Please extend. Okay, thank God. See, this is what's supposed to happen. Is that one extending? No, look, that one's retracting. What the f... How was it extended already? My history with Elder Scrolls is actually not very extensive. I know there are some people who've been playing the Elder Scrolls since Arena. I played Oblivion at a friend's house, and fucking loved the hell out of it. He got it right on launch day. And after I loved it so much, I wound up getting Morrowind for the Xbox, original Xbox, and had a bad time with it. I think Morrowind is awful. There's a lot of things I like about it, but there's one major mechanic that ruins what could otherwise be a great game, and that's dice rolls. Every goddamn thing in that game is a fucking dice roll. Just like in like a traditional tabletop RPG like Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll a dice, and if your number's not high enough, you do no damage. Yep. Morrowind operates just like that, except it's real time, and it's not turn-based, so it's like this, but let's just say if my blade level is not high enough, then over 50% of those attacks aren't gonna do anything, even though it looks like the weapon connected with the enemy. So fucking dumb. Anyways, Morrowind had some great ideas inside of it, though. There's just that one unfortunate problem with it. There are a lot of people who love Morrowind to death. I'm not one of them. I think I didn't grow up with it, so I just don't have the nostalgia for it. So beyond that, that's when I got I really technically got introduced to the Elder Scrolls series with Oblivion. Even though my first game that I owned was Morrowind. And then like I said, I bought Oblivion once I finally got my own 360. Once I got my own 360, I finally bought Oblivion for my 360. And oh, fucking much until my 360 died. Then by that time, I had it for the PC. Then I played it a fuckload on PC. Also because I'm not kidding when I said it was basically my source of porn. Because at the time, porn was better in Oblivion than it was on the internet. So, and I was a horny teenager and needed to masturbate. So, yep. It's also probably where a lot of those thousands of hours came from, was just masturbating. I don't know how to contend with this. This is a lot of enemies that I don't know what to do. Shit. Okay. Something like that. Anyways, after I played a shit ton of Oblivion on PC, you know, eventually time went on, Skyrim came out. At the time when Skyrim came out, I no longer really had a gaming PC or money to buy it on PC, so I wound up playing it on my friend's 360. I basically kicked him out of his house and just played Skyrim on his 360 for a long ass time. Until eventually I moved out, and then I had a gaming PC again and money, and I bought it for myself on PC. And then I think now I have, according to Steam, I have like 530 hours in total. So, yeah. But that's across multiple saves. It's not like in Oblivion where I had one save that had 1,000 hours in it. Wait, it doesn't say I found it yet. Yeah, it's weird. There we go. Oh yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, back in my youth, I'm still pretty young, but back in my angsty teenage years, I think I had, I know I technically I had more games, but I'm pretty sure I really only played 2 games, and that was Oblivion and Halo 3. I used to have LAN parties with Halo 3, actually. You know, you talk about going over to a friend's house to play. I used to do that. I'd bring my 360 with me and a tiny little TV. And we'd connect up, we'd have a bunch of other people over, and we'd all play 8-player matchmaking. Not matchmaking, just custom games. Local custom games. Level up twice? Why do I have 30 attributes? I should only have 15. I don't even have enough stats to distribute all 30. I don't want to raise my endurance or speed because I would get freakishly fast. I can only go up to 5 points per level, so... I feel like when I was setting up Oblivion XP, I must have broken something because I should not already have this many stats at 100. Yeah, that's fine. That's split screen madness, man. Days. Smelly bedrooms that smelled of farts. Sweaty teenagers. Hot video game consoles. Kind of miss, maybe it's just, it's probably nostalgia, but
Well met.
I kind of miss having a multiplayer game that I could just go into and just goof around in, like in Halo 3. I mean, I guess part of the goofing fun was the fact that I had friends to do it with. I tried looking for a good first-person shooter that allows for that kind of thing, for just goofing around in. But I don't know, they don't make them like it anymore. You know, they all want to try to be, you know, Overwatch, I feel like is too reliant on teamwork, that there's no room for just goofing. And then practically the same thing could be said about something like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, except it's more that it's so focused on competitiveness that there's no. Also, you can see this bug that I get whenever I go into an Oblivion Gate. It's easy to fix, but my water turns orange. And to fix it is actually to just go to the water and it will fix itself. But the water is kind of far away from me now. We just won't look that way and pretend it. Fuck. Nice. Don't run away, damn it. Yeah. Don't worry about that orange water. We'll just pretend it's not there. Whenever I find a river or something, it'll get fixed. Or if the game crashes, that'll fix it too.
You're pathetic.
God, there are so many enemies out. Come back here, bear. Oh, okay, alright. You took care of it. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. What time is it? It's 12:39. I don't know. We've had some pretty good discussions here. You'll be happy to hear that there's a new video that'll actually be going out. Like, not a shit post video. Well, it is kind of a shit post, but it's a legit video. It's a legit shit post instead of just a shitty shit post. It's going out on. I can't keep up with everyone's time zones. I don't remember where you're at. Are you the one that's in Texas? I know Conrad's in Texas, and I thought we had someone else who was also in Texas.
You have my ear, citizen.
It's because I'm such great entertainment. If you're in Texas and it'll go out on Sunday evening. You're the guy that's in the Philippines? What? I think that's Mr. Chu. Mr. Chu's. Oh no, you're the one for the Philippines. Hell yeah. Knew there was someone from the Philippines. So you're actually ahead in time for me. I think you're like an hour or two ahead. What time is it for you? Here's another Oblivion. Not sure. I just see the horrifically orange water. I just see the dead tree, and typically if there's dead stuff, that means there's an Oblivion game. Bye. Yeah. I think you're just like an hour or two ahead of me, so it'll be out for you. It'll be out Monday, like early, super early Monday morning. Almost 12 midnight. That means Japan's ahead of you? What? Because it's already midnight here. So then for you, it'll be out at 11 p.m. on day. Your boy is trying to figure out what to do with his YouTube channel. He doesn't know what's going on anymore. What the God? That's a second. Where are you going? God, stop it!
Show me what you've got. What's the matter? Getting tired?
Okay, these guys. Okay, so that Daedra that came up earlier scared the hell out of me. This Khajiit that just came up behind me scared me pretty bad, but not as bad. Then another one stuck up behind me, almost gave me a snare. A snare? Almost gave me a scare, but didn't quite. And then this one, I don't know, it still surprised me that it came up behind me. They need to stop doing this just sneaking up behind me kind of thing. Busy on this road today. Dumbass fucking wolves. Get out of here. Oh, there's some more. I see my overhaul mod seems to really like adding lots of enemies instead of just a few strong enemies. Guess that's one way of adding difficulty. Oh, fuck! It just crashed while I was saving! Oh, shit! Fuck, I think that corrupted my save. Let's find out. I mean, it's not the end of the world because I save in increments, but it's still been a while since I changed the number. I don't know how far back save 30 was. I was on save 31. If it crashed before it applied the save, then it'll be fine. But if it crashed while the save happened... Fuck. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay. Seems to be okay. Okay, yeah. So it crashed before it applied the save, because this is not the wolves. So let's be smart and go ahead and increment up. Now on 32. I really need to get in the habit of adding it, going up in numbers more often. I started doing that. In fact, I used to rotate every time I would do a new save. I would just rotate through numbers. So like my last save would be on save number 2. My new save will be on save 3. My next one will be on save 1. And I'll just rotate between 1, 2, and 3 until I decide to change numbers to 4. And that's just a protection method because I've had too much experience with this game being just awful. I've had too many saves corrupted because of modding problems or whatever. So by constantly just incrementing the number, I feel like I'm saving myself. And when I rotate it, I feel like that's a good idea. But I stopped doing it because it just felt unnecessary. Like it was too much, too protective. But I think I really should do, or at the very least, change the number more often than I do. I play for like an hour and a half before I change the number. And having to repeat an hour and a half's worth of gameplay would not be fun if that save got corrupted. I wish there was less encounters. Sometimes I just want to enjoy the wild. Enjoy the environments. Not without a mod. There's no marriage in Oblivion. In Skyrim there is, although I think it's pretty shallow and completely pointless. I never actually married in Skyrim. I don't honestly know. There is a whole mod that is devoted to ridiculous. There's a whole mod in Oblivion that is devoted to relationships that also includes the romantic side and intimacy side too. So, you know, if you're into not just getting married but also having some sweet ass sex, then they got a mod for that. Why am I silenced? Shit. I really need to get a better healing. This one's kind of garbage. I think I've been using it since like level 15. No. Much earlier than that. Level like... What am I now? Actually, Hot Wives is not the one that I was thinking of. I don't think. There's a mod called Sex Livian, which is actually a completely modular mod. The base mod itself is totally just about having sex in Oblivion, thus its name. However, there is modularity to it, so there's a mod for the mod that basically adds girlfriends and marriage and intimacy. Let's go ahead. Keep increasing that value. It's almost 1 a.m. I think, unless I get distracted, I think the plan is I'll probably end the stream when I get to Skingrad. Actually, I might, this is bothering me, I might add these to my map and then end the stream. There's a siren. I don't know if my microphone can pick that up. Probably can. They're so loud here. So obnoxiously fucking loud. Where are you running off to? Why are you running? Come back. What? Oh. Oh. Well. Alright. Kinda anticlimactic. The game stuttered when my sword made impact. stupid ghost hit you. Yeah, my frame rate is starting to tank here. What I was saying earlier. Might get 60 around... Oh, hello. I might get 60 frames around Anvil, but some areas where the frame rate just goes to hell. This game is just not designed for this many mods. Almost there. I'm sure there'll be another 2 more encounters before I actually get there. Trying to ignore it, but I can't. I have to pick it. Want to ignore it, but not gonna happen. Free money. Making potions is so easy, and they sell for so much. Oh, there is fast travel. I don't know. I don't use it often unless, like, I'm really annoyed. Like, if there's a quest that's having me go back and forth between places many times, then I might fast travel, but normally I walk everywhere. I also feel like it does wonders for the game's pacing, too. I realized this earlier. There is such thing as spell enchanting in this game, just like in Skyrim. But in Skyrim, not spell enchanting, but equipment enchanting is its own skill tree, its own leveling thing. In Oblivion, it's not, and I totally forgot that that's how it is. It's not a skill that you have to level up in this game. There's no enchanting skill. So, however, you can only enchant at enchanting altars, and those are only available inside the Arcane University. But to get inside the Arcane University, you have to go to every Mages Guild in all of the cities and get a recommendation from the guild leader. And so by going through this whole thing, going to all the cities, getting all the recommendations, and then finally being admitted into the Arcane University, finally being able to enchant something, it feels like you accomplished something. Like, that is your reward. Like, now you can craft spells and you can enchant weapons and armor. And I actually really like that. And that didn't occur to me until just recently when I got into the Mages Guild. It's like, oh shit. It's like, after doing all of this, now a whole world has been opened up. Now that said, of course, there's actually a DLC added, Frostcrag Spire here. It has spell making and enchanting right inside of it. So that kind of defeats it, but I'm not going there. Anyways, going to the individual mages guilds and getting the recommendations, it doesn't take long. The recommendations are pretty short. But having to make the adventure to each one makes it feel like, I don't know, it makes it feel so grand and, well, adventurous. To get the castle, I have to leave the city and go up. Also, typically, if I do actually do fast travel, I normally just try the fast travel to the cities anyways. I did that in Skyrim too. I normally actually had mods that disabled fast travel. Yeah, it's kind of like getting a diploma, actually. I guess. Anyways. I usually had mods that disabled fast travel, but there was always the carriages. And there's also boats and means of, like, normal fast travel. Like, realistic, believable fast travel. And I would use those. Oblivion actually doesn't have those kind of things. There's just regular old click on the map and fast travel there kind of thing. Yeah, I would probably say more like a diploma than a driver's license is what it feels like. But regardless, it feels pretty great to go through that whole thing. It almost feels like it's its own story too, you know? Like, I started, and especially knowing this game, and because I've played it so much, like, you start right here, I think. This is the beginning of the game. And I pretty much just went straight to trying to join the Mages Guild. And I think I just looped around. So I just went here to Shadenhall, then to Bruma, then to Coral, then down to Skingrad, then Anvil, came back around, went to Bravil, and then down finally to Leowin. Yeah, and I don't know, I got to see all of this, and especially because I have mods that change landscape of Oblivion, so it's not the same landscape that I remember. It's almost like experiencing a whole new game. So, like, I haven't even done that much in the game, but I feel like I've had this huge quest, and like it shows because I'm level 26, and I'm barely into the main story. I've only done any quests here. Quest completed 20, but you have to keep in mind, how many cities are there? Skingrad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of those 20 quests are the recommendations from the guilds. I've only actually done 13 quests, and some of those were actually just the beginning tutorial quests. There's the tutorial quests, and then the first part of the story that I think I did to make Oblivion gates appear. I don't know. Now, like I said, there's no fast travel like carriages or boats like in Skyrim. There are horses, but I mean, you still have to control the horse. It's not like a load screen A4. There's only just regular click on the map fast travel. It feels more believable when you use those other kinds of methods of fast travel. Not to mention they only take you to a city. Like right now I can click anywhere on this map and fast travel to it, you know. And that's the kind of fast travel that I don't really like. Oh. Also, I'll fast travel to my house here in Anvil. After a lot of questing and adventuring, I'll have a lot of stuff in my inventory that I don't need, but I don't want to sell, so I'll fast travel to my house, drop it off, and then I'll fast travel back to wherever I was. Continue from there. I don't know, weird rules that I apply to myself when playing this game. That I like a lot more. I do it, I think I'm talking in circles now. I do it in Skyrim too. Alright. Okay. Alright, well, anyways. I think that's gonna be the end of this stream. So, thank you, Mr. Stoner, for watching. Mr. Chu, if you're still here, just listening in the background, thank you for sticking around. Other than that, see you whenever it is next time that I stream. And I hope you enjoy the new video that comes out pretty much 24 hours. Yep. Good night. Stop streaming. Stop streaming.